Good morning. I just want to do a little brief review of critical thinking questions for you this morning. The majority of you seem to pretty much understand what a critical thinking question is. But let me be really clear. The grades I'm getting a little tougher on each time. Those are 3-point questions. The only way I know whether you watch the videos or read the book is by what you say to me in writing. And the critical thinking pretty much has to do with what you get out of what you read and what you see. And that kind of is your test. I don't give a midterm, and your final is open book, open note. So it's not like you're having to read and try to remember at the last minute. You always have open book, open note with me. It's how well you're able to apply what you've been able to glean from what you've seen and what you've heard and what you've read also. Very important. This is a transferable class, and that means that it goes to the four-year colleges. There's a little bit of academia expected in your being able to do that, and that's the ability to learn, process, and use the information that you get from what you read and what you view. So when you answer those questions, it's like a mini term paper in 250 words, because that's what you're supposed to write, is at least that. Probably 250 is about right, which is about a little more than a half of a typewritten page. That's taking the sources that you have used, your textbook, anything you might Google, and some of you do a really good job of doing that. And what is it that you glean from the videos that you see? There's a purpose in each one of them. And for instance, today's video that you're going to see is John Nash. John Nash was the featured person in A Beautiful Mind with Russell Crowe. It's a man who's a schizophrenic. He's also a Nobel Prize winner. He takes no medication. He doesn't even go to the doctor anymore. He has a tremendous support group from his family. His wife is his ex-wife, but she's in his life every single day. What difference does that make to a schizophrenic? At least to John Nash. And how does it apply to other people? And where do you get your information? In our house, I have 4 children, and their rule was you can discuss anything you want at the dinner table, because we were always together at dinner. And if you came and you said, you know, Russia's a really terrible place to live, they would immediately look at that person and say, who says? Where'd you get that information? How do you know that to be true? What did you read? What did you look at? And then that person had to defend whatever they thought. They still do that. The 4 of them are very close, and they still do that. Don't give me this information unless you know for sure where you got it and whether it's true or not. And so that's kind of what you get here. By the way, 2 of them are educators and 2 of them are lawyers. The lawyers don't always win. Most of the educators do. Anyway, that's just a little triumph on my side. So I'm telling you the same thing. Who says? And that's what you're answering in a critical thinking question. Who says? Not just one person, but how did you get that information, and how do you know it's correct? Why are there so many homeless on the street who are schizophrenic? Because they have a really difficult time living with people, unless they can do like John Nash and get hold of, through psychosocial rehabilitation, if you will, the ability to function on their own in society. And that takes a lot of support, but it's a workable thing, and that's what we're taking a look at doing. So I encourage you, take a look at that if you want to get the points. It's not that hard, and I do appreciate your answers. Some of your discussion questions are really remarkable, and I'd like to comment on them, but that's something that you're doing with each other. And don't hesitate to challenge each other. Who says? On what you have to say. That makes it more fun for me to read too, by the way. Also, somebody questioned me today on why I hadn't posted a grade. Well, it takes me almost 2 days to read the papers from this class, and that's working 2 full days on it. So be patient with me. I start them on Monday morning, sometimes over the weekend, and I read everything that you write, all your discussion, all of your questions. And I do appreciate it, and I learn a lot from all of you. So don't hesitate to get on the phone and call me if you have a question. Thanks. Have a great week.